Good morning. My name is Nathan Morris. It's Tuesday, February 15th, and I'm here for the Ottawa Dads Walking Club to record a video just to explain what the walking club does and to just shed a little more light on some of the things we might do in the coming months and years, and to share some of my ideas about some of the philosophical underpinnings. And in trying to think about what sort of ingredients that dads need to live a happier life, I took some existing things, the body, mind, spirit division that my mentor uses. So I just added in one little quadrant more called values and practices. Now, that was just the underpinnings to today's topic, which is possible activity we could do. So those of you who've tuned in before know that there's three parts to the Ottawa Dads Walking Club. The walks, that's the centerpiece. And the second part is the optional accountability club. And one of the ideas that could come up in a future month is have a sort of a very light reading club. I say light because I've always found that some of the reading clubs very intimidating, because it's like, this is going to be the book you have to read, and it's like, wow, I have to get that book, I have to read it. Wow, it's stressful. So rather than telling other people they all have to read some book that the group has selected, which is imposing a time and a cost onto them, rather than that, say, hey, why don't you tell us about some book that you already have in your bookshelf and that you already like? And just to give some sense of how I've found fiction has really helped improve my quality of life, I have found that reading fiction in my off hours has helped me improve my body, mind, spirit, and some of my values and practices. As far as books that have helped me with my body, you might say, how can a fiction book help you with your body? Shouldn't you get a nutrition book? Well, even some of the fiction books I've read, I found have had a very soothing effect. I have been reading a lot of Ian Rankin, the Scottish crime detective novel author. His crime novels starring the lead character, Inspector Rebus. These books have no glitz, no glamour. It's often in the gritty inner cities of Scotland, and Inspector Rebus isn't fast. He's not some Sherlock Holmes genius. He's more like slow and grinding. For that reason, it really helped. I find that pacing of the novels really helped to relax me at the end of a workday after stress with the kids. And as well, some books have a stimulating effect on the mind. I've never studied science, so there's like so many gaps in my knowledge of science. So for me, science fiction is like a lighter, kinder, gentler way for me to learn a little bit about science. And of course, I know that scientists will quibble. They'll go, "Oh wow, they made up that ion drive in the spaceship. That's not real." Okay, I've been trying some what are so-called hard science fiction, which are about as much science as you can pack into a made-up story. And one book that I particularly like is Andy Weir's The Martian. It's about an astronaut who's stranded on Mars, and he has to try and survive on a very hostile planet until the rescue mission can come swing back around and pick him up. In Ursula Le Guin's so-called soft sci-fi novel, The Left Hand of Darkness, soft, I mean, some people might take offense of that, but instead of in her novels, it's not so much spaceships and ray guns. It's more like you're learning about a different society or a different culture or some different political system. And in her novel, The Left Hand of Darkness, the Space Federation is trying to recruit far-flung planets to join the Federation. And their strategy is, instead of sending down a battalion and to try and sway which is more very pushy, they send down a single representative. And so they send down a brave man named Genly I, who agrees to land on the planet and just try and talk to the people and encourage them to join. They're mistrustful. Some people wished him to cease to his encouragement of them joining the Space Federation, and it just made me feel how lonely he is out on that planet. And all he has to defend himself is his wits and his strategies. He has no backup team. And then the last category is values and practices. So some books take a deep dive into values and ethics, and one that did that for me is Orson Scott Card's book Ender's Game. In Ender's Game, the Earth is under alien attack, and so the scientists of the world, all gather together and they devise this controversial plan to recruit the best and brightest children and train them as battle strategists, including the main character, Ender, who turns out to have a genius for planning battle strategies. But is that right, to manipulate children into fighting alien battles for you? I found myself torn. I was like, well, it's either the aliens overrun the planet, maybe we need to get the kids planning battles for us, but it's obviously deeply unethical, and it'll help you ponder those deeper questions. And so that's my little take on how I think completely made up stories can help improve our body, mind, and spirit. And hopefully that can be a little discussion topic that dads can talk about. So now I'm going to do 20 push-ups, pause to let my muscles recover, and then do any additional push-ups. So I won't be striving to see if I can do more than 20 in a row anymore. That was the first 20. Now say pause to let the muscles recover. And I just want to say that one of the things I hope by reading, if we read together and everyone shares their favorite stories, I'm hoping that can also help us learn about other types of books. We all each know probably only one genre of fiction. It's really good to explore some other genres. This has been Nathan Morris for the Ottawa Dads Walking Club. Have a great day.